Okay, let's go. Hello, everyone. Let's get started. What do we have for tonight? I'm told there's some Q&A, some questions outstanding.
Yes, there was a question that was submitted on the internet. It was a question, and there was also attached to it an answer from a famous monk. So I think I'll read the question and the monk's answer, and we hope to get your comments, Master. So the question is, the person reciting the Buddha's name has the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and good spirits protected. Why at death his past creditors still come to obstruct? Why is it at death his past creditors still come to obstruct his rebirth to the Pure Land?
We don't have that problem, do we? Really? Do we have that problem? Never mind, continue.
So the famous monk answered, people reciting the Buddha's name, there are those who have attained effective recitation power, and those who have not. If his recitation practice is as strong as a slab, then his recitation really has power. So when this person dies, his past creditors will not obstruct him. If your recitation practice has not been achieved, in other words, you cannot attain rebirth, then your past creditors will come to collect the debt. If you owe a life, they'll collect a life. If you owe money, they'll collect money. In short, you cannot escape.
That's it?
Yep, that was it.
Okay, words of wisdom. Okay, everyone, I leave it up to you to tell us what you think of the question and of the answer. Come on, wake up. See? White.
A Di Đà Phật. Con nghĩ nếu mà chờ niệm Phật thành phiến mới được cứu thì cái pháp niệm Phật đâu có cái giá trị gì cho đại chúng đâu. Bao nhiêu người, thí dụ bây giờ tiểu bang California này 38 triệu dân, bao nhiêu người niệm Phật thành phiến được? Kể cả tăng ni. Xin hết.
Master, in my opinion, if you wait until you recite the Buddha into a block, then how can the Pure Land Dharma Door has any value? Let's say California has 38 million residents. How many people can attend the recitation into a block like that, including monk and nun?
I don't know, okay? Sounds right to me. But anything else? Any other comments? He also mentioned about karmic obstructions and so forth. Anyone? Don't be shy now. You learn a lot so far in Pure Land Dharma Door. This is a small quiz to see how much you really understood so far. All these years of Pure Land teachings, how much have you got? Anyone else? So no one got anything? Yes, black.
Figure out how to use this first. Okay. So I have a clumsy speculation. I think if someone obtained the Buddha recitation samadhi and Amitabha Buddha and the bodhisattvas come to that person at his deathbed, then the light of the Buddha and bodhisattvas will scare away the past creditors from collecting. So that's my speculation. And if no one comes, then the past creditors will go ahead and bother the person.
Okay. Oh, very good. What about Q&A? Q&A, go ahead. Why don't you unmute it?
Emitofuo.
There you go, we can hear you.
Thưa Thầy, that is the reason why con tin là why we are alive, we should cultivate, do a lot of good deed and also help out and bow to the Buddha and do a lot of repenting. And to pay for the creditor, we can do the plaque that the temple offers.
Okay. All right. Fine. Anyone else? Okay, let me explain it to you. This is why it's very dangerous to have Q&A sessions, question and answer sessions, because it reveals the depth of your understanding. The question shows that this person doesn't understand at all what's going on, which is normal. It's not your cup of tea. What happens now and what happens when you die, of course, you don't have the kind of information. But the answer also reveals that this person here doesn't only understand the self-help part of the Pure Land Dharma door. He does not understand the other's help part of the Dharma door. That's why the answer is that way. Okay? So that's why even my master's disciples don't dare leave a lot of room, a lot of time for you to ask questions, because it reveals the depth. The answer will show the depth of their understanding of the Dharma door. And better yet, they avoid teaching these Dharma doors they're not familiar with. Okay? All right. So the question is, when you recite, and the real concern, you recite this Buddha recitation, and you're getting help from the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and against your creditors, past creditors. But after you die, do you get what happens to them? Can they still bother you? Which is the question is nonsense. The question doesn't make sense at all. Your past creditors are. Question from JMT. Go ahead.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. We can hear you.
예, 제가 드릴 질문은요. 제가 10년 전에 지장기도를 천일을 하고 절에 가서 회향을 했는데요. 새벽 예불에 들어가서 이제 회향 기도를 하려고 하는데 유나 스님이 들어오셔서 저보고 이 목탁을 주면서 기도를 한번 연부를 계속 하라고 맡겨놓고 그냥 나가셨어요. 그래서 제가 목탁도 처음 쳐보는데 목탁을 치면서 지장보살을 한 20분 했는 것 같는데 같이 앉아있는 한 20명이 있었는데 도반들이 2시간이 지났다고 막 이래 몸을 흔들었어요. 그만하라고. 근데 이미 아침 공양 시간이 되었는데 거기에 선정인가요? 뭔가요?
Master, 10 years ago, I did 10 days Earth Bodhisattva prayer. And then the last day, when I attended the morning ceremony, and the Venu, the monk, the Venu gave the woodfish to her and then asked her to recite the Buddha's name. So she recited the Earth Bodhisattva, Earth Sword Bodhisattva for 10 or 20 minutes, but she realized it's been 2 hours. So her question is this a kind of samadhi?
So she recited 10 minutes and it seems like 2 hours?
No, she recited 2 hours, it seems like 10 minutes.
What does that have to do with this Pure Land thing here? But again, she's a kimchi lady, so we're gonna best kimchi at all. If you ever want to know what good kimchi tastes like, you gotta try hers. Okay, guaranteed. Okay, so we'll accept the question. Yes, it is a form of samadhi. Absolutely. That's very good. Actually, it's a very good thing that she's able to decide. And when you enter samadhi, you have no more notion of time. So that's why time flies by so fast that when you exit samadhi, you say, "Whoa, what happened to the time?" It seems like a few instants only, whereas we've been there for quite a while. Okay? So, in a way, if you will, if those of you who are vain, it seems like your life is a suspension. So more or less you age, if you will, you stop aging for the time you're in samadhi. How's that? Isn't that cool? The Catholics don't have that. We Buddhists have, when you enter samadhi, we stop aging. More or less. It's kind of cool. Okay? All right. Okay, yeah, yes, absolutely. Okay, continuing with this topic of karmic retribution. Okay. He says, when you recite the Buddha's name, the question is you get some protection, but after you die, what happens? Can those things get back at you? Okay. And it's a good question for a person who is experienced clearly, and that's very good. But the answer is really shows that this monk here doesn't really understand at all, or doesn't have a good grasp of the situation. All right. So, question from JMT again. Go ahead.
그 삼매도 정토 가는 데 도움이 됩니까?
Is the
네, 도움이
samadhi
됩니까?
helpful to go to Pure Land?
For reciting Earthstar Bodhisattva's name?
Yes.
No, there's no direct causation for you to go to the Pure Land. The Pure Land Dharma door is clear. You must recite either Wan Yin's name, Amitabha Buddha's name, then you can go to the Pure Land. But Earthstar Bodhisattva is not necessarily a necessary condition for you to go to the Pure Land. Sufficient condition for you to go to the Pure Land. Okay? All right. However, the good news is that once you're able to recite Earthstar Bodhisattva enter samadhi like that, then it's not that hard for you to change the recitation to Amitabha Buddha's name, and you can enter samadhi as well, just as easily, if you will. Okay? So, in fact, that's why it doesn't matter whatever you want to recite. You just choose one name, one Dharma door, whether it's Earth Store Bodhisattva's name, or Medicine Master Buddha's name, or Amitabha Buddha's name. You keep reciting, and you practice, you develop the skills. Then that skill there is transferable to any Dharma door you recite. Okay, so the samadhi is from the Dharma door recitation. So any form of recitation Dharma door is very easily transferable across the Dharma doors. All right? So that's why there's no reason, for example, for the Pure Land practitioner to say, I only practice Pure Land. That's nonsense, because if they practice something else and they enter samadhi, and then when they practice reciting Buddha's name, they can also as easily enter samadhi eventually. Okay, the same samadhi. All right? So that's why only people who are narrow-minded, who don't understand the actual form of practice, the recitation Dhamma door, that's why they differentiate and discriminate against that I recite this, I don't recite that, I don't recite at all, I meditate. It shows that they don't understand at all. They don't. Their level of understanding is pretty shallow. Okay. All right. So I don't care to go through the answer or the question. I will address the topics mentioned. How's that? Okay? So that it's not personal to the person who poses the question or the person who gave the answer. Let me explain to you the process. Okay? When you recite the Buddha's name, okay, you will encounter obstructions. Okay? It doesn't matter what level you are, whether you are able to enter the recitation samadhi, you still encounter obstructions. Or you can't enter the recitation samadhi, you still encounter obstructions regardless. Okay? Why is that? It is because the fact of the matter is we came to this Saha world to pay off our past creditors. So that's why we here, it's just like we say, I'm open, so come and make your claim. So they keep on coming relentlessly. Okay? How do you know? You know because you get sick. That's a very common form of debt, past debt you have. Okay? You harm others in the past, now you're sick. That's just the way it is. Okay? You have afflictions. Okay? You're afflicted. You get angry, you get greedy, you have stupid thoughts, you curse, all those things. Those are karmic obstructions. Okay? So, our existence in this world here is full of obstructions. Wherever you do, wherever you go, you will encounter obstructions. That's the way it is. Okay, so that's why cultivation is part of cultivation is to learn how to address those karmic obstructions for you. Okay, if you're smart, you will learn how the Dharma door should be, your form of practice should be able to help you and resolve those karmic obstructions. Okay. Whatever that's stopping you, that whatever is bind you up, that prevents you from making progress. Okay, you need to learn how to resolve those karmic obstructions. Now, this is a secret in Chan, for example, in Chan school. Okay, our patriarchs, The advanced ones, not all the patriarchs, the advanced patriarchs would know, would recognize, would be able to recognize how to resolve your karmic obstructions. Is it clear? This is only for advanced patriarchs like Master YongHua. He knows how to do that. Okay, and that's why the proof is that because he knows how to resolve these karmic obstructions, his disciples made progress and became enlightened. So in order for you to become enlightened, or in order for you to reach a Buddha recitation samadhi, okay, you must be along the way, be able to resolve these karmic obstructions that prevent you from getting there. Does it make sense? This is common sense. So it's a fact of life. Okay? You want to go to the temple and recite the Buddha's name. Okay? Your child says, "Daddy, I want to spend time with you." Okay? And so forth. So you see, you have karmic obstruction in everything we do, as a matter of fact. Okay? So that's a fact of life. So you shouldn't be horribly preoccupied with it, because that's whatever you do, you're going to have karmic obstructions. Karmic obstruction, you know what it means? Karma. Karmic is from karma, meaning that you are creating a karma. And when you're creating a karma, obstruction prevents you from creating a karma. So whether you recite the Buddha's name, you have a karmic obstructions for reciting Buddha's name. Yes? You want to hop on your car and drive somewhere, you're going to have karmic obstruction for you to get on the car and drive somewhere. That's just life. So do not be too paranoid and say, how do I resolve karmic obstruction? It's just a fact of life. What is the big deal? Does it help or not? Don't get caught up on the words, on the terminology, because it sounds so scary, but it's not. It's just the way we live here. So the Vietnamese have a karmic obstruction that's more tailored to the Vietnamese. The Chinese have different. And then the Chickasaw people have their own karmic obstruction. So each one of us have karmic obstructions. What is the big deal? Why are you so paranoid about it? Whether you recite the Buddha's name or not, you still karmic obstruction. Whether you even, after you enter this Buddha recitation, then another type of karmic obstruction will come and stop you again. So cultivation is to know how to resolve these karmic obstructions. That's all. Yes. Green.
So, in other words, karmic obstruction could be like what we call like walls or like things to hop over, obstacles.
Obstacles, obstructions is obstacles. For example, you sitting there, and then you have the urge to go to the restroom. That prevents you from sitting there. That's a karmic obstruction. That's all. You see, it's not a big deal. Could be a very big deal. Could be it's part of life. Okay? Yeah. So, if you are a businessman, what is your karmic obstruction? The karmic obstruction could come from your competitors. If you're at work, your karmic obstruction could be coming from your colleagues, from your boss, from your subordinates. You see, it's karmic obstruction everywhere we go, in everything we do. So there's no need to be paranoid. Okay? Before you attain the Buddha recitation samadhi, you have karmic obstructions that prevent you, from entering that samadhi. And after you enter the samadhi, you're different range. Now the karmic obstructions for you that will stop you from progressing further, improving your rebirth rate. You see that? It's non-stop. It's endless. There's no need to be paranoid about it. It only matters when you're trying to do something and you have difficulties. That's when you learn how to deal with these karmic obstructions in everything we do. Okay? So to say that you get protection from karmic obstructions is not correct either. Right? It's you come here, you get a certain level of karmic obstructions, but not all of it. Why not? Because if we shield you from all your karmic obstructions, then you won't learn. You cannot learn. Okay? Just know differently if you shield your son from problems and difficulties and mistakes, he'll never grow up. He'll hang on to your skirt for the rest of his life. Say, Mommy, I need emotional support. Mommy, my girlfriend is so mean to me. Mommy, I'm hungry. Huh? See that? So what's the big deal? You cannot shield. You don't want to shield your children or your wife from all the karmic obstructions. We have to be instructed in order to learn. In fact, the bigger obstructions, okay, if you are smart about it, the leap is bigger. Your progress is faster. There's nothing to be worried about. Okay? Does it help? Okay. And so to say that you enter samadhi, you have no karmic obstructions is nonsense. Okay? The samadhi itself is a form of karmic obstruction. So the student and the master don't understand the concept, the Buddhist concept of karmic obstructions. And that's why. And unfortunately, this shows that this Pure Land Dharma door that's being taught by this monk here is basically a self-help Pure Land Dharma door. It is no concept in his world, in his Dharma door of external help. Okay? They're selling this Buddha recitation samadhi, but they don't have any recourse. What if you don't enter this samadhi? What to do? Okay? And that's the advantages of the Pure Land Dharma door is that if you don't succeed in entering this samadhi, you still can go to the Pure Land. If you aren't able to enter this samadhi, you still can attain a very high rebirth grade. And that's the superiority of this Dharma door over the Chan Dharma door. Okay? All right, does it help? Okay. Yes, question back there.
Master, I would like to share a story along the past creditor story. So about 15, 16 years ago, when I first investigate about Buddhism, I accidentally went to a Dharma talk that was meant to be for close disciple. And in the Dharma talk, we learned about why we need to be vegetarian. And at the end of the session, there was somebody that requests help because one of the students' dad is on his dying bed. So we recite Bodhisattva's name to help the dad to quickly pass over. So that night when I come home, I get in a lucid dream, and then I was brought back into the room. And in the room, I was the only one. And I saw the old man in his dead bed in the hospital. And he was suffering. And then I came there and I was thinking, why am I back here? So does it mean that the prayer was not complete? So I was brought back here to continue to recite for him. So I started reciting Wan Yin's name. Then suddenly all kinds of animal, people, and all that stuff start crowding over the old man. And, they each wanted a piece of him. They want to tear his flesh off, and the man was just suffering. He was just laying there helplessly. And I keep reciting Buddha's name, Bodhisattva's name, Wan Yin, for him. And then all the animals start looking over at me and say, stay away because it's not your fight. Leave us alone, it's not your fight. And so I say, okay. So I stop reciting. And the animals still are angry at me because I'm still there, but I couldn't get out of the dream. So, I keep on bringing my cousin, my relative, whoever to come in and help me to pull me out of the room, but nobody can help me. And the animals start to get angrier, and they came after me. And then I remember one of my friends, he recited the Surangama, so I brought him into my dream to recite the Surangama. And that's how I exited the dream. So.
And you left your friend behind. Smart.
I was just happy to get out of there. Because it was very, yeah.
A nice friend you are.
Well, he has this Surangama, so he's protected.
Right.
So the question is, well, after that day, I became vegetarian. I didn't dare to touch meat, because I saw all those animals over the man. So is that what happened to people if, they eat meat, then, or the past creditor at the moment of death, they come to you like that before you leave the...
Yes, absolutely. When you eat meat, you're taking part in the killing offense. Okay, maybe not directly, but indirectly, you're causing the death of these animals. I hate to say this to you, but because of that, when you die, you have some karmic retributions for that. Okay, they want to make sure that you suffer, because you inflict pain and suffering on them. So they are entitled to inflict pain and suffering upon you. Okay, just cause and effect. So that's why even when you enter the Buddha state of samadhi, you still have all these beings and gnawing at you and causing you discomfort. Okay, trying to cause you discomfort. All right? But that shouldn't stop you from getting rebirth at all. You still have a question?
I guess my next question is the past creditor plaque. Would that help?
Absolutely. What happened is that another nature of the karmic retribution is that their access to you is limited. Okay, meaning that think of it as our body is like a house. For them to enter our body, to make a claim on us, they need to go through some kind of opening, a door, a window, okay, some kind of opening, and so these creditors of yours, they have to wait in line. Okay, so it's not uncommon, for example, for you to be very, very sick. Okay, to have that, let's say you have kidney problems, so you have a kidney creditor right there harassing you. Okay, and right behind it, most likely, is some lung creditor. According to the Eastern medicine thing, you have a kidney problem, you also have lung problems. Okay, so that's why. But because of the access, the limited access, only one can access you first. The other is waiting in line, right? So what happened is that cultivation is part of learning how to resolve this immediate threat to you, the clear and imminent and present danger, you will. Huh? And so you resolve that. Okay, you resolve that. Okay, then you can escape before the next one comes along. Does it make sense?
Otherwise, all of them will storm on you like...
They can't because, like even when a country invades another, they need to amass their armies first. Remember D-Day. The Allied forces had to, bring their armies to England, okay, over time. And then they need to line them up by the beaches. And then bring the fleet to transport them over the English Channel to land onto France, into the beaches in Normandy. So you see, it takes, logistically speaking, it takes a while before you can mobilize all these forces. Same thing. In order for you to have, let's say, a kidney issue right now, they have been mobilizing for a long, long time. They're there, and they're in front of the line, making a claim on you, okay? And that's it. That's all the room there is for it, okay? And so after you resolve this, the next wave needs time to, again, mobilize the forces and make the landing, you see? So that's why we have time. If we're lucky, we are able to resolve that before the next wave comes. But unfortunately, also in some severe cases where you actually have multiple fronts, it makes it much harder to resolve. Okay, so what happens to you, lay people, is that you live and you ignore these issues. For example, you have some heart problem and say, okay, I'm lucky I didn't die. But actually it is a warning for you that they're attacking you through your heart. Okay? And you're ignoring that. And then they're attacking you through obesity. Okay? Which includes diabetes. These fronts are being formed and you're ignoring it. Okay, so by the time that you go to the hospital, the doctors tell you, oh, we need to, you have skin cancer. But actually, there's so many fronts now, and the skin cancer alone will kill you. And you fix that, the next one will kill you regardless. So think of it like diabetes. Your whole body is rotting. How are you going to fix it? Okay, and the whole body is rotting, and you go to the hospital. The doctor can tell you, oh no, your kidneys are no longer functioning. That's it. But actually, you fix that. The rest is still not salvageable. Okay, and so that's why the concept of past creditors in Buddhism is that we are smarter. We resolve these things. We don't wait for them, okay? Because that's why Medicine Master Buddha says, I can, in this particular Dharma door here, I will resolve all these problems for you, all around, okay? So that you are able to have the means to fend for yourself and to be able to escape. before it's too late. Okay?
So the past creditor plaque is part of Medicine Master's Dharma door?
Yes. That's the Dharma behind it. Okay? All right.
Thank you, Master.
Anyone else? YouTube question. And it's a beautiful Dharma door, and the reason that it's disappearing is because the Chinese who brought it this country, they don't understand what it does anymore. That's why they can't explain what it does, even let alone to see how it works. Yes, Orange.
마스터, 좀 전에 법문하신 내용이 제가 노산사에 와서 봤던 비전의 내용과 정확하게 일치합니다. 저의 질문은 어제 비전을 봤는데 세 명의 사람이 원안에 3등분으로 나눠져 있었고 그 중에 한 사람만이 좀 부각돼 있는데 뭔가 1, 2, 3번의 순서를 기다리고 있는 것 같았고 그걸 본 이후에 아침 식사를 하면서 생각해 보니까 그것은 사람이 아닌 아수라였다는 것을 알게 됐습니다. 어떻게 해야 될지 막막하고 좀 두려운 마음이 들어서 질문 드립니다.
Master, what you just told us is just exactly what I saw in my vision. Yesterday, I saw a vision. In the vision, one of my relatives is surrounded by 3 people. They were waiting in the line. Later, I realized that it's not people; it's asura. So I'm wondering how I can help my relative.
한 가지 더 말씀을 드리면 마스터 말씀대로 군대를 봤습니다. 또 다른 비전인데 군대를 봤고 저를 보호하는 건지 저한테 몰려오는 건지 모르겠지만 군대도 봤습니다. 솔직히 두려운 마음이 큰데 제가 이럴 때 어떻게 해야 되는지 그러니까 저의 질문의 포인트는 마스터가 말씀하신 대로 한 번에 한 명씩 한 번에 한 채무자가 오는 게 아니라 3개의 채무자를 동시에 비전으로 봤는데 이럴 때는 어떻게 해야 되는지 질문드리고 싶습니다.
So in another vision, I saw an army. I don't know whether they are protecting me or attacking me. So my question is, if there are several creditors come at the same time, then what should I do?
Do you know that a lion, the king of the beasts, in his flesh lives a lot of worms that eat away at his flesh? There's nothing he can do. That's part of his retribution, right? So part of our retribution is to undergo all these pain and suffering. Now, the question is, you want to help? We have limited resources. We cannot afford to help address all problems. It's not possible. The trick about this is to learn to resolve ones that will hinder your progress. For example, you want to go to the Pure Land, okay? Then the Pure Land Dharma door must be able to help you resolve the obstructions that will come when you die. And it's very successful in doing that historically. There are cases after case of the rebirth where that Pure Land Dharma door is far superior to any karmic obstruction that comes at you. Okay? So that's what we want to resolve. Whereas the rest of it, we can only worry about the important matters. We cannot resolve all of them. We cannot help everyone. Okay? I'm sorry. I know that in Mahayana, the Chinese teachers, especially over Master YongHua's side, my teacher's side, they said, we're bodhisattvas. We're supposed to help living beings. And I said, what's the point? Okay? I don't subscribe to that thought, that school of thinking. I subscribe to the fact that if you want to do something meaningful and useful to society, okay, then I would try to help you. But I will not. I have no interest in helping you so that you continue in your selfish ways, if you will. So, for example, if you are creating a bad karmas, okay, maybe it's a good idea that you should be, your health is not good, so that you can do less damages. How's that? Okay, so the point here is that we can't help everyone. We don't have the resources to help everyone. Okay, we can't, and we can only help when it matters, when it makes sense to help them. Okay, so besides, if they don't suffer, they will not change. That's a fact. Unless people are scared, they're not going to change. They're not motivated to change. Okay, so sometimes it helps to let them suffer. YouTube question.
Cordelia asks, many great stories and great memories, but Master, is memory itself a karmic obstruction? I never had great memory, but it seems like a blessing, but a terrible person to party with.
Terrible what?
It's a terrible person to party with.
Memory? Memories? You party with memories? I don't understand the question. Huh?
The question was, is memory itself a karmic obstruction?
It doesn't matter. It's a karmic obstruction when it stops you from doing something that's important. It's not a big deal then if it doesn't. Okay, so that's why we want to focus on addressing the obstructions that are stopping us from accomplishing what's important. That's all. Okay. Yes. Question. Green.
Master, you said that when the past karmic debtor, they are able to access us because we have opening. Can you describe those openings and ways to maybe close them?
Yeah, they're like your windows and your doors, your garage doors. So you see there's a garage door, close and lock it up.
But then how does that work in me as in my cultivation? Where do I close the window?
If you can't recognize a garage door, then develop the ability to recognize the garage door. Same thing, you know. We have to teach our people which one is the window, which one is the door, which is the garage door. It takes time. You want to do it yourself, you have to recognize what the problem is. You're not willing to put in the time to recognize your problem, then it's no point. Okay? The same thing. I give you a funny story. You know, the people who wish to be reborn in the heavens, this particular Christian wishes to be reborn in heaven, and That's all she wants. She wants to be to go be near her God. That's her lifelong wishes, and she's a very good person. So by the time she died, she went up to the heavens, but she actually overshot. So that she went to a higher level heavens than the God's heavens. So I don't know you call it a karmic obstruction or not. Okay. All right. Anything else? Yes.
Thank you, Master.
You see, that's a trick right there. He uses, you guys don't even notice that he does that not because of a habit, but actually it's a trick so that he checks this microphone's working and he's being heard and so forth. Okay. At first, it used to bother me. What's the matter with you? Don't you know? Yeah, I'm the master. Why do you keep on thank you, master? But actually, finally, I realized that that's what he's doing because the rest of you are not. It's very subtle. You see.
The heart of compassion, Master, for the AV team to support them.
Okay, another riddle. And there you go.
Oh boy. I meant to be very simple, sorry. Just to share, one of my garage doors, I've noticed, is my anger. When I'm angry, all my obstructions appear.
Exactly. Excellent. Okay. So, anger is an opening. Anger is, when you're angry, you invite your karmic obstructions to come. Big time. Okay? That's a very, very disastrous form of mistake you make is when you get angry and you have all kinds of karmic obstructions. All right. Q&A.
Hi, Master. I just want to share a story regarding we were aging, and I think, lady, you need to listen. Just want to share that during this week of Foji, when I start, I was under a lot of stress, and I neglect myself. I have brow spot everywhere on my hand, on my face, you name it. But then day number 5, and then I look in the mirror, and my husband came and said, "What happened?" He looked at my hand. 90% of my brow spot on the face, on the hand is gone, and I think 80% of the brow spot on my face is gone. So that is a sign of reverse aging during Foji. So come again next time for all of us. And that's all. I have other things, but I forgot. Thank you.
Wow, did you hear that? You know, you're younger, so you don't know what this problem is. Wait until you're older and you realize you have aging spots, meaning some brown spots on your skin all over. Okay, your face, your hands, and your body, and so forth. Okay, and she says that she noticed that on herself. This lady here is not that old, and yet she has brown spots already. And they went away. That's kind of cool. Okay, congratulations. So how do we do that again?
I have another question, another thing to add to this, Master. During the sitting, I was in so much pain, my body shake like crazy, and then I feel the energy running around. The heat is up, and then I'm with sweat, and then I feel the energy running around my finger. And then, is it okay? Because what I did was I told myself, doesn't make any sense. Why would I listen to my body? It's controlling me. I feel the pain from my body. My mind is stronger. Then I said, stop the shaking. And then stop shaking. And then the pain, the same thing. I said, stop the pain. And then it stopped. And then I test myself. I say, now shake. And then it shake. So
You can tell this lady here is very bossy. Do you want to marry such a person?
Test it to see if it's really working.
Oh, boss me. Tell me what to do. Oh. Never mind. It's funny for you Asians. But yeah, it's possible. It happens. But better yet, don't do anything. Just bear it. Okay? Don't tell it to stop. Don't tell it to start either. In the interest of harmony in your families, don't be as bossy. I remember when I first came to San Jose, I looked at her and said, some of us are very bossy. So a few months later, she got the message. She became a little bit less bossy. But still, you see, it's very deep-seated. She still bosses herself around. You cannot shake. You cannot have pain. Come on, pain is pain. Shake is shake. So what's the big deal? Okay? So again, seriously, just bear it. Don't try to do anything. Just bear it and observe it. It's much better. Okay? But it's good. It's possible to do that. Okay? Possible to stop all those things yourself. But it's not necessary. It's better to endure it. That's how you resolve the karmic obstruction. The better way to resolve karmic obstructions are two ways. Endure it, okay? Or how? How? I'm not going to tell you that. YouTube question.
You have a question from a disciple in Asia who wishes to remain anonymous. The question is...
Buddhist disciple, Catholic disciple, my disciple, someone else's disciple.
Is that your disciple?
My disciple, okay, welcome.
Okay, so the question was, for the tactile recitation exercise, is it all right to use a 17-bead wrist bracelet?
Sure, absolutely. Okay. You're my disciple, so you can use anything you like. Anything, seriously. Okay? Anything, whatever works for you. The reason I propose using the small one because then it won't get in the way. You won't strangle your young daughter if it's too long, and you say you reciting, and your daughter's go and you say Emitofuo, 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 Emitofuo. You know what I mean? So it's less. There are few obstructions to your recitation, if you will. All right, very good. You know, cultivation is to adapt to what you have. Okay, so nothing is that rigid. There's no such a thing as you must do this, you must do that. Okay, anything goes. However, what you want to learn is the smart way to go about it, so that you, as you listen, as you face these obstructions, and you somehow manage to resolve the obstructions, that's when your wisdom unfolds. That's a secret in our Mahayana training. That's why we love obstructions. We are not afraid of obstructions. Okay? And when the obstructions are too much for you, then you ask for help. That's why we're here. Okay? And that's the difference. In our temples, and even though I'm not here physically, but you have plenty of people around you who are able to assist you when you have obstructions. Okay? And their level, their ability to resolve your obstructions is very, very high compared to most others. That's why I can do my stuff and not worry about they're not being able to resolve your obstructions. Because in order for them to be at my disciples be at the current level, they went through many obstructions at your levels already. So it's not a big deal to them. And now they're learning how to help you resolve yours. Okay? That's why. Question from JMT.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
I have a question about Pure Land Master.
Yes.
So in the Great Transference, it says when you arrive in the Pure Land,
yes,
you listen to the Dharma,
yes,
and then immediately you are awakened to patience with non-production.
Yes.
So does that mean like every single person or chicken or cat that arrive in the Pure Land, they become fourth stage are immediately, or do some people need time to cultivate?
I've been avoiding this. Sometimes you ask a kind of questions that makes it difficult to be evasive. Either you know or you don't. So the Great Transference is a beautiful, beautiful text. You should be so grateful to be able to do it every day here at our temples, because it tells you, it gives you a lot of insights of what happens when you are reborn to the Pure Land. It tells you, you pay attention to the verses there, or the word verses there. This is what's so beautiful about Buddhism, is that this describes the process of rebirth. Okay, I'm sorry. In the other sides, they speculate. They say, oh, you know, you are a children of God, God forgives you, and so forth. It's all speculations, you will. Okay? The verses we have that you recite is actually the script, if you will, what's going to happen when you are reborn to the Pure Land. That's why it's so beautiful. When we do a rebirth transference on Sunday afternoon, and I bow to the verses when they say Lian Chu Highway and so forth, you know, those verses where you bow, I bow there on front of the altar. You know, quite often tears came to my eyes, because it's a very beautiful praise of the Buddha and how compassionate the Buddha really is. Okay. So I get emotional because it's so beautiful how compassionate Amitabha Buddha and Wanyin Bodhisattva and Great Strength Bodhisattva in helping us get to the Pure Land. So this question about when you go to the Pure Land, the lotus flower opens up and you see the Buddha, and the Buddha speaks Dharma to you, and you certify immediately to the production, the non-production of dharmas. Okay? That's a very good question. Okay. Shall we share with the internet audience, or shall we not? I'll leave it up to you. Wouldn't you like to discuss it with each other first? You know, talk it over? What happens is, for that particular instance, for that to happen, it's for those of you who are already fourth-stage arhats here. Okay? What it means is that you recite the Buddha's name here. And you see, this is why my emphasis has never been to enter the Buddha recitation, because it's such a small milestone in the scope in the scheme of the Pure Land Dharma door, it's a tiny, tiny milestone. For us, it's not, never the main goal. Okay? Because of that reason. Because if you enter this Buddha recitation samadhi, you go to the Pure Land, you're not going to certify the patient's non-production of dharmas when a Buddha speaks dharma to you. That's not going to happen. It only happens, this is why, unless you know what you're doing, these verses, these texts from the Buddhist text, it's not the way it sounds. Okay? So that's why the Chinese have a lot of the Chinese Pure Land practitioners, Asian Pure Land practitioners, they don't understand these verses. They misinterpret these verses. Okay? Or they don't dare talk about it. Okay? So if you are lower than 4th stage Arhat, you go to the Pure Land, the lotus flower will open, the Buddha will speak Dharma to you, but you will not certify that the patient's non-production of Dharmas. Okay? However, if you're here and you practice and you certify to 4th stage Arhat, okay? And when you go for rebirth or higher, you go to rebirth of the Pure Land, okay? The Buddha will speak Dharma to you, and instantaneously you will certify to non-production of Dharmas, meaning that you become a 4th stage Arhat instantaneously. Whereas when you're born here, when you come to this Sara world, you're born, there's no such a Dharma available. You understand the difference? In the Pure Land, that is why I keep on stressing to you that you want to get as high as possible here first. Then when you go to the Pure Land, you save yourself a lot of time. Okay? So that's why our Pure Land Dharma door, I stress you getting a 4th stage Arhat or higher as well, preferably. That is, those favorite disciples of mine, you know, whether it's in Asia or not. All right? So that's why don't stop. Don't stop at just the Buddha recitation samadhi. There's a lot more going on in this Pure Land Dharma door. Okay? If you believe my words, okay, then why would you only focus on attain rebirth alone? That's not enough. This is not what the Pure Land Dharma door is about. Okay? Yes, questions? Black.
Master, does it mean that, let's say if a person got requested for somebody to enter Pure Land and they went to Pure Land, and at the time that they entered Pure Land, they're not open to Buddhism, and their level, it's at a certain level, so they remain that way when they're in Pure Land?
That's how they start. That's their start in the Pure Land. They have to climb up the ladder. That's what happens. Whereas if, let's say, you reach higher levels here, the verses only say you certify the operation of non-production, that's spelled out for those enlightened people. Okay, they go there, they are enlightened immediately. As soon as they hear the Buddha speak the Dharma, they become enlightened right away. Okay? Whereas you're here, if you come to the Saha world and you're born, you're confused like heck. And the Buddha can speak Dharma to you forever. You're not going to be certified. You will not become enlightened right away. Okay? That's the difference. That's why the Pure Land is, you save so much more time in the Pure Land than here. That's why it pays for you to try to get as high as possible here before you go to the Pure Land. Is that clear? And that's why the Asian Pure Land Buddhism, if I would say it's Hinayana, and for paupers, for beggars who I just want to go. And to me, it's not enough. I'm not going there just to be a beggar. I'd rather be, a cool dude. Okay? Yes, do you have more questions? But there's a question on JMT first.
네, 스님 질문이 있습니다. 한동안 제가 관세음보살 아미타불 연부를 억지로 하지 않으려고 해도 걸을 때나 설거지할 때나 일할 때나 계속 하고 있었는데 어느 순간부터 안 하고 있더라고요. 근데 연부를 계속 할 때는 여러 가지 다른 큰 방해나 어려움 없이 지냈는데 왜 그 연부를 자동으로 나오던 연부를 안 하게 됐는지 지속적으로 다시 하려면 어떻게 해야 되는 건지 여쭙고 싶습니다.
I used to recite Kwanseum Bosal and Amitabha Buddha's name naturally without intention, but at some point I stopped doing recitation. So my question is, if I want to continuously to recite the Buddha's name, what should I do?
Start reciting again. Okay, don't worry. You recite, you stop, you recite again. It's okay. It's not a big deal. A good thing to recite. It's a good skill to have. All of you, I believe all of you, should attend the Amitabha recitation, whether it's on Sundays we have here or the 4-chi we have here. Eventually you're going to have the Wanyin chi as well. Okay? But those are, look at them as the chances for you to develop skills and knowledge for you to use in your daily life. Okay, and those are different tools you can use to resolve your karmic obstructions, if you will. Okay, and they're very practical. Okay, you too.
Trin asks, is patience of non-production 4th-stage Arhat or 1st ground Bodhisattva?
It's the name itself refers to 4th-stage Arhat. There's a lot more going on, but I'm not willing to share everything with you because I want to listen to the other people, the other monks and nuns or lay people who claim after listening to me that they try to add more things. And then we know these people are fakes. They don't know what they're talking about. Okay? It's a lot more going on than that. But it's just like the sutra. When the Buddha spoke the sutra, it can give you a generic type of description. The details will be filled out by your good new advisor and yourself when you're there, when you experience it yourself. Okay? So we will not give you, I'm not telling you everything. Be blunt. Okay? Anything else? Question alone. Yes, go ahead. Let's go this side. Green.
Master, what if the people are non-believer in the Pure Land? Can I request them to go to Pure Land? Can they go to Pure Land? And my second question, is it fair for me to request them even though they are non-believers?
Absolutely. The Pure Land Dharma door is not just for Buddhists. Their requisites for rebirth of the Pure Land are if as long as those requisites are met, then anyone can go to the Pure Land, including non-believers. Okay, that's a nice thing about Pure Land. They don't need to believe, they don't need to cultivate, and they still can go to the Pure Land. Whereas the other Dharma doors, they have to do something themselves. Otherwise, they won't make it. Okay, so this is the superiority to me of the Pure Land Dharma door in that sense. That's why I hope that you're excited enough that in your generation, a third generation, you will be able to develop the ability to help people go to the Pure Land yourselves. Because it's just a wonderful Dharma door that is, the key right there is that we can help people who cannot help themselves. That's what's so beautiful about this Pure Land Dharma door. Okay? If you look, Chan school, we help ourselves, develop the ability to help ourselves. At some point in time, we cannot help others, okay? So in contrast, so the Chan school, you will eventually get to the point where they have to turn to the Pure Land Dharma door to help others. Okay? So that's why they're mutually beneficial. They work together. Okay? That's why when I started teaching, I said, I'm going to teach you Pure Land and Chan in parallel because they're complementary. They truly are complementary. I don't care what level you are. That's why we teach you both Pure Land and Chan at the same time because they are mutually beneficial. You improve one Dharma door, the other door will also improve as well. To the point where you reach the top of it, then it's about learning how to help people. Okay? And that's the passion is about helping people, and that's how by helping more people, your wisdom becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay, and that's something my master didn't teach us. Okay, I want you to bring enlightened you to this concept where actually you're. It's the authentic Mahayana wisdom right there. Okay, over here there's another question. Black.
I have a couple of questions, Master. So I noticed that the few people that I requested the 49th plaque for, when they come to the temple during the time that they had to wait, they listen to the Dharma and they attend the ceremonies while they're here. Every time I come back, they improve and they seem to be more awakened and acceptance. So by the time the 49th they reach and they went to Pure Land, they become completely different person. They seem to be more, I don't know if I should use the word enlightened, but more wise. They develop wisdom just by being here during those days. So does that carry on with them when they get to Pure Land?
Okay, these are the details that I don't mind sharing with you. What happens is that in our particular environment, okay, we stress more on helping others. That's why I don't put that much weight in for you to entering the samadhi. It's gonna happen, and it's not the only thing that matters for you go to the Pure Land. Okay, that's why, for us, if you go and stay in our temple for a year or two, which in the future we have the chance to do that, we support you everything. We have a Pure Land colony like the White Lotus Society that Master Huiyin created. I would like to do something like that. Okay, for example, right now in Montecito, in Santa Barbara, there is a 35-acre property. Okay, it has 35,000 square feet, something like that. It's huge, it's humongous. So I can see in the future where you have these colonies where people will go there and practice for 3 months, 6 months, a year, 3 years, and so forth. Okay, and you go into that environment, you will enter samadhi. This Buddha recitation samadhi, in my humble opinion, it's not a big deal. I don't know why the Asians make such a big deal out of it. It's baffling to me. Okay, that means that they're so desperate. They don't have much success. That's why they're so desperate. But for us, it's like, we eat hamburgers every day, so what's a big deal? For us to give us another version of the hamburger, what's a big deal? You know what I mean? We practice jhana, we enter samadhi left and right, and for us to say, oh, there's another type of samadhi called Buddha recitation samadhi. And our first reaction would be, big deal. Okay? So anyway, so my point here is that, it's going to happen, but it's not why we're doing this. We want to do this in order to help people, help others who cannot help themselves. This is the nature of the Dharma ending age. Okay? We tell them to try to get out of the wheel. They don't listen. Right? They say, I'm rich. I've seen these people come to me and say, what do you have? What kind of car do you drive? Huh? Is this Armani? Not this one. Yeah. So they look down upon you. There's nothing you can do. It's not until they die that's when they're so desperate for help. Okay? And that's when we laugh. We come to them and say, hey, you remember me, huh? You remember me? So kiss my feet, now I help you. My point here is that it's fun because Pure Land to me, I hope that you will bring forth the mind and say, I'm going to help. But ultimately, okay, I would like many of you to develop the skills to be able to help them. Okay, help them because these people after they die, that's when it's a new ball game. Okay, they're so desperate for help, and they are so grateful to you when you show up and try to help them. Okay, and to me, this is why the Pure Land Dharma door that we're practicing should be more widely disseminated so that it's available to more people, in particular your family, your friends, okay, your acquaintances. Okay, that's what this is about. Okay, it's so cool. It's more than just yourself. The Asian, they're so poor. They said, I only yearn to go to the Pure Land. I said, oh, what's the big deal going to Pure Land? Oh my God, there's so many ways to go to Pure Land. Okay? Why are you so desperate? Jeez, what kind of person are you? Anyway, so that's why it's the fun of our Pure Land Dharma door is that we practice with a big heart. And we practice in order to help. Okay? To help people around us, people that we have conditions with. They will listen to you, they won't listen to me. Okay? Yeah. All right, YouTube has a question.
Trin asks, Master, are you saying that if you are 4th stage already here, then you will again be 4th stage Arhat instantly in the Pure Land, so there is no upgrade?
You're so ungrateful. I cannot believe my ears. Imagine that you're born and you're certified to 4-stage Arhat without doing anything. Here in our world, it's so difficult for any of us to reach 4-stage Arhat. Even the 6th patriarch himself has to suffer for a long, long time, paying filial duty to his mother before he had the chance to certify to 4-stage Arhat. And here you are, when you go to the Pure Land, all you do is the Buddha speaks a few words to you and you certify to 4-stage Arhat. No pain, no suffering, no hardship, no effort. And you still not happy? Good Lord. I don't think this person deserves to go to the Pure Land. What do you think? We're going to start a new list of people who are iffy. Yes, orange.
Thank you, Master. I can't help but think there's an opportunity to remind the YouTube audience of the buy one, get all special of the Pure Land that comes free with every ticket.
Okay. All right, Green, we're going to let it go.
지적인 마음을 먼저 참회하고 말씀드리고자 합니다. 사실 비전을 본다는 거를 별로 사람들한테 알리고 싶지 않았습니다. 왜냐하면 가십거리가 되고 이렇게 입에 오르내리는 게 싫었는데 제가 궁금하고 제 목적을 달성하기 위해서는 비전을 얘기를 하고 또 다른 비전에 대해서는 말씀을 안 드린 것에 대해서 참회를 합니다. 제가 말씀드리고 싶은 부분은 저쪽에 파란색 점퍼를 입고 계신 사진, 영정 사진이 있는데 우리가 왕생이정 회양을 하는 그분입니다. 왕생이정 회양을 할 때 저분의 메시지가 노산사에서 와서 불칠해 온 모든 대중들께 감사 인사를 하러 잠깐 왔다고 했고 꼭 정토에 가겠다고 저한테 약속을 했습니다. 모든 대중들께 감사 인사를 대신 전달드립니다. 이상입니다.
I would like to share another vision. I don't like to talk about the vision, but in this vision, the disease in the picture that we in the altar, he showed up in my vision, and
which one?
The picture in the altar.
Which picture is that?
The Korean man, Korean man in the picture.
Korean man?
Yes.
Which one is that? Oh, that 49 day. Okay, he showed up?
Yes.
And good Lord, he's still here?
He wants to say thank you to every assembly, and then he promised to go to Pure Land.
But isn't the 49 days over? He says he promises to go to the Pure Land? When was this? Wow, interesting. When?
불칠 시작.
The first day of Fochi.
What day?
The first day of Fochi.
The first day of Fochi.
Right.
No.
Third day.
그러니까 감사 인사를 왔다는 거는 불칠 첫날이었고 저 사진 속에 그 여동생이 저랑 그러니까 달마 프렌드인데 그분이 저한테 좀 부탁을 따로 하셔가지고 오빠가 꼭 정토에 갔으면 좋겠다는 메시지를 전달해달라고 해서 전달을 했고 제가 사진 속에 그분께 정토에 꼭 가겠다고 약속을 받았습니다. 이상입니다.
The first day of Fochi, he showed up to say thank you, and
What kind of clothes did he have? What was he wearing?
음성만 들렸습니다.
only she heard the voice.
The voice. How do you know? You never met him.
이름을 대진 않았는데 왕생이전 회양을 하면서 눈을 감았는데 어떻게 설명을 잘 못하겠습니다.
I don't know how to explain to you.
Okay. So she doesn't see him, she doesn't hear his voice.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. He's in the Pure Land already. He's in the Pure Land. And he came back to play with you. That's why he doesn't let you see him. Very good. Yes. Black. Why are we gossiping all day, huh? It's like there's no chance for us to learn Master YongHua's wonderful, profound Pure Land Dharma door. All you want to hear from me is gossip, gossip, gossip. Go ahead.
Master, along that line, so on the first day of Chanchi, when Venerable Sinran did the ceremony, the great transfer in time, I saw the earth open up into another dimension, and we're all suspended in midair, and I saw lots of Buddha rise up from the earth. And then along with that, I saw all the people that you helped to go to Pure Land, they came to support the Fochi. And also I see many of the people that I request for help, they also came to attend the ceremony.
Of course.
But the funny thing is, the previous year, I see the heaven open up and the heavenly being came down from the heaven, but how come this time the earth opened up?
It's because this time we're in the heavens. That's why when you're in the heavens, it opens from below. Good Lord. I don't know. Anyone else? Yes. Illinois. Green.
A Di Đà Phật, dạ thưa thầy, em con với lại chị con á, nghe lời một vị thầy nói rằng là nên make cái vow để còn lại, để con back here. Rồi mà nếu mà tại vì có ngài Tuyên Hóa hứa sẽ ủng hộ họ để họ support Dharma. So con không hiểu là ngài Tuyên Hóa có làm cái vow đó không thưa thầy? A Di Đà Phật.
Master, my sister and my brother listening to one of the monk that advised them to make a vow to come back because Master YongHua promised to support them in the propagate the Dharma. I wonder if Master YongHua make such a vow, such a promise.
I don't know. I can't speak for him. But I wouldn't recommend it. I doubt this is the case. It's like this. Clearly, it sounds good to you. Like such people says God does this, God does that, and God forgives you, and so forth. but it's a lot of, I thought I call talky Pure Land Dharma door. Okay? They talk too much. And that's, to me, personally, a disservice for you in the future, my disciples. Don't talk unless you know what you're talking about. Okay? Don't talk unless you hear from someone that knows what you're talking about, or you verify yourself. That's what Buddhism is about. It's not about to sit there and use these flowery things and say wonderful things about the heavens or the earth and so forth. It's not what Buddhism is about. Buddhism is about facts. It's about reality. It's very factual. Okay, and that's why if you are not enlightened yet, if you are don't have any real wisdom yet, then use the words of wisdom of others. You don't have to say things that are incorrect, because when you say things that are imaginary, things that you from your thinking, for intellectual thinking, you are creating offenses. You are preventing yourself from developing real wisdom this lifetime. Okay? So, for example, in Master Shenhua's environment, he allowed his disciples to speak Dharma, knowing full well that his disciples will say the wrong things. And because of that, they will fall to the animal realms or worse. And he allows it to happen because he will support them, will prevent them from happening. Because when he asks them to do those things and they create offenses, he also, in essence, promised them that he would rectify the situation and correct their mistakes. Okay? That's in their environment. But once if you don't have that kind of environment, for example, in particular, the Heng disciples who left the association, they're no longer under protection, that kind of protection. Okay? So that's why they should be a lot more cautious in their speaking Dharma. Okay? I personally I'm not interested in getting. I'm a lot more cautious. I'm a lot more cautious when I speak Dharma because I'm afraid to fall. It's not worth it. Once you fall, it's very difficult to get out. It's a lot of suffering. No temples, no money, no fame, no profit in this world is worth it to me personally. So that's why I'd rather not commit offenses to do those things. Okay, so speaking Dharma is very wonderful. It creates a lot of blessings if you know what you're doing, but also creates a lot of problems for you if you don't know what you're doing. So you have to be careful. To say, for example, that you should make a vow to come back to this world, to me, I can't think of anyone that I would advise you to do that. Okay? For example, the great bodhisattvas wouldn't need to listen to me. The bodhisattva don't have to listen to me. Okay? But however, if you have no wisdom at all, you're not enlightened at all, why would you want to come back? Because it's very dangerous to come back here. Okay? Mahayana is predicated upon you being able to find a wise teacher, a good known advisor who will teach you. You see how difficult it is in our Dharma ending age. It's so bad now for you to find a teacher you can trust. The only teacher I can think of, I highly recommend, is dead already. Okay? That's a fact. He's dead. And then you ask me, who else do you recommend? I will tell you honestly, I don't recommend anyone. Because all their teachings in my generation fall short of my master's teachings. Why would I recommend you to go learn from a lower level person? I want to go back and learn from Master YongHua's teachings. That's the best there is right now. Okay? So I can't think of, I seriously doubt, personally, I seriously doubt that my master would tell anyone to come back here at all. Why is that? Why not? It's very simple logic behind it. It shows clearly another case where I apologize to offend some of you, okay? It shows this person, this monk here, does not understand Pure Land Dharma door. Just like the other monk. They don't understand. Their understanding is too shallow. It's incomplete. Because whether you're here or whether you go to the Pure Land, okay, it's the same kind of cultivation in that in the Pure Land, you will have Amitabha Buddha and as your good knowing advisor, your personal good knowing advisor. Each and every one of you who go there, he will teach you personally. If you hear that, you believe me, then the first thing you should do is, why do I sign up? I want to go there. It's the best good knowing advisor there is, who will be there for you until you become a Buddha. Can you find a better deal anywhere? I doubt it. Because if you do, let me know. I would go there myself instead of going to the Pure Land. Is there a deal? Okay. So far, until you find a better deal than that, okay, my position is that go there because there's the best teacher waiting for you. You go there, and if you have wisdom right now, you go there, he speaks Dharma for you, and immediately you open your wisdom again. Instantaneously. And then he'll be there and guide you until you become a Buddha yourself. That's a personal promise from him to you. Each and everyone who goes there, okay, will receive that promise, will receive that guidance. Whereas right now, there's no such a good knowing advisor in the Saha world. The only comparable good knowing advisor is Shakyamuni Buddha, who died 3,000 years ago. The next one is Maitreya, who will not be coming for another, millions of years. Okay? And if you get to see him at all, he'll teach you for one day and one night, and he'll be gone. And then the rest of us in this higher world will be left without a good knowing advisor again. You see the problem here in the Saha world? Whereas over there, he's there until you become a Buddha. That's his commitment to you. Okay? Why would you come here? Why would you go back here? Once that's why you go to the Pure Land, and then you die and you want to come back here. To what? Are you stupid or something? Seriously. What are you coming back to? Here. Because By the time you come back, your wife has been remarried already. Your children have forgotten about you already. Okay? So what are you coming back to? Save people? You want to save people? Oh, you want to save people? With what? How can you save people? Can you save people right now? Can you? If you can save people right now, okay, then you don't even need to worry about going to the Pure Land yourself. You can go to Pure Land at will if you can save people right now. You see? So that advice is really, really nonsense.
Dạ thưa thầy, bởi vì trong family của con thì rất nhiều người như là cousin con, rồi nephew, rồi follow cái vị đó, mà ai cũng bị ly những chuyện đó thầy. Như vậy thì con cũng không biết cách nào mà để nói, tại vì họ không có tin.
If they believe that monk or nun, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay?
Yeah.
We cannot help everyone. There's only so many hours during the day we have. And so many years we can live. We can help so many people, and that's it. So that's the beauty of the Sangha in general, is that there are different, they're helping different groups of people. There's nothing wrong with them believing in that monk or that nun. It's a good thing.
But the sad part is a lot of people follow him and believe
So
in
what?
it.
So what? How many people can be a billionaire in this world? Not all of us can become billionaires. Doesn't matter how well educated we are, how smart we are, we don't necessarily can become billionaires, become successful ourselves. Okay? So it's a exclusive club. It's not for everyone. It's perfectly okay. If you want to believe that, believe it. Nothing wrong with that. Okay? But if people want to believe whatever they want to believe, there's nothing wrong with that. It's perfectly okay. Okay? But the bottom line is that we have a Dharma door which will help them regardless they believe or not. So we always have the last laugh. Why do we care they believe or don't believe? Okay? Stop trying so hard to convince them. Okay? If someone doesn't believe, all you have to do is get the girlfriend to help him get to the Pure Land. And then he said, see, we have the last laugh. You know what I mean? And that's the beauty of our Dharma door. We're so powerful that in the hands and eyes, there's a hand called the Blue Lotus. I believe it's number 19. Okay? If you recite it and you perfect that particular hand and eye, you can send someone to the Pure Land whether they like it or not. So who's the boss here? I say, so this lady here in San Jose who wants to boss her children and her husband and the family and so forth. I said, that's the small boss. We want to be a big boss and send people to the Pure Land at will, whether they believe it or not. To me, that's the ultimate boss. So who cares if they believe or adore you and give you money and worship you or not? We just quietly, you go to the Pure Land, you're here. That's it. Okay? Don't worry. They let them. It's a good thing they go to the Pure Land, go to the temple and believe in this, believe in that, go to the church, go to the synagogue. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a good thing. All those are good things. They follow these masters and recite Buddha's name or do chant and do vipassana. All those are good things. There's nothing wrong with that. They do yoga, they do so forth. All those good things. There's nothing wrong. But ultimately, let's have a last laugh. Let's send them all to the Pure Land. Huh? That's the ultimate fun. Who cares? Yes, sir. Green.
So I have a question. So sometimes when I try to pray the rosary, I fall asleep. And I feel very tired and I fall asleep. And I keep trying to pray or finish praying the rosary. Or sometimes I forget about it. Or X, Y, and reason. Would that be considered like a karmic obstruction?
Yes, it is. Absolutely. Okay, JMT question.
아까 육식 얘기가 나와서 육식에 대해서 질문이 있는데요. 사회생활 하면서 육식을 피할 수가 없는데 혹시 육식을 하게 될 때마다 매번 참회를 하고 육식을 하는 게 좋은지 아니면 육식을 하는 데 대해서 특별히 맞춰진 참회법이나 용서를 구하는 그런 기도하는 방법이 있는지 궁금합니다.
In our daily life, it's very hard to not to eat meat because of the social thing with other people. So, is there any special repentance method to when I eat meat?
Okay. Don't worry about eating meat. Let me have a cop out. Okay. It's too complicated. It's okay, don't worry. I know the Asian and the Chinese tell you not to eat meat and so forth. I'm a lot more goofy, okay? If it's too difficult, don't eat meat. If it's so tasty, indulge a little bit. Just don't overdo it, that's all. That's all I'm trying to say. To me, it's okay. It's like, let's not be obsessed, okay? When we know it's a good thing, then we should try to do it. If we can't, then try it again. So it's not always possible for lay people to not eat meat. Let's face it. Case in point. You go to Japan, for example, it's virtually impossible to find vegetarian food. Nowadays, it's a lot easier than before. But before, like 10 years ago, it's virtually impossible. Now, because vegan is so popular and everyone is doing vegan, so you still are able to get vegetarian food or at least get instant noodles and poison yourself with Japanese MSG. So don't worry about it. You eat meat. It's okay. And I don't know if you have like good bulgogi and kalbi and kimchi with lots of garlic. What the heck? Eat it. You've been eating those things all your entire life. We're going to ask you to stop eating? For what? For me to ask you to stop eating meat and eating those things is in order to get something else better. I'm very mercenary. I'm a mercenary by nature. Okay, if I ask you to do something, it's because it's better for you not to eat meat because it's more beneficial. For example, you come to the temple, you practice here doing the fochi. We don't serve meat to you. You want meat, you have to sneak out and go outside and eat. It's okay too. We don't have a problem with that. But we're not going to help you eat meat because it's more beneficial for you when you're here not to eat meat. because it's easier in your digestion, okay? It reduces your body odor, okay? And it makes it easier for you to practice here, enter samadhi, by eating vegetarian and without suffering any adverse effects on nutrition. Okay? Don't believe all those nutritionists and say you need to eat, you need that. For example, there's some people who are in advanced societies who go into powder diets where they get all kinds of nutrients and nutritious stuff and all these processed things. And to me, they spend a fortune doing that, thinking the health improves. And after a few years, the health actually deteriorates. Why? Because these people, because when you eat processed food removes magnetic properties from the natural food. And we are magnetic beings. We are magnetic animals. We need to eat magnetic stuff to replenish our magnetic stuff. And all these people in the processed food is they remove all these magnetic stuff from the processed food. And you eat it long enough, your body will starve in magnetic stuff. And that's why your health will worsen. Okay? So even the nutritionists, they don't know what they're doing. Don't worry. Just eat normal. Don't do anything the extremes. You know, if the Mayans eat corn and the Vietnamese eat fish sauce. You know, you go there and they've been eating for thousands of years. What are you doing? You stop eating fish sauce in Vietnam? Are you crazy? What's the matter with you? Huh? They eat it because it works, because they're very healthy. Okay? It's a natural thing. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Master. I would like to provide a 5-star Yelp review for the Way Mountain cheeseburger that I was served 3 weeks ago with the Beyond Patty, and as a lifelong hamburger connoisseur, it helped me transition to the Beyond Burger. My wife can verify this. We bought them from Costco the other weekend. She was very surprised.
You notice how he always brings his wife into all aspects of his life. That's the ultimate French Mahayana. Absolutely. No, to me, I avoid extremes. Okay, and to me, food, part of the fun of life is enjoying good food, okay? And there are times and places for you to do certain things, okay? You're not like us. We're left home people. We chose to live this lifestyle that's predicated upon us making sacrifices, okay? You are not. You are lay people. You should live your normal life. Okay? If you feel you're in position to make sacrifices by being vegetarian for valid reasons, some of the reasons are health. It's very healthy diet, vegetarian. Okay? Cost savings is cheaper than meat. Ecological. Okay? You're worried about climate change, okay? You know, for the food production in creating meat and fish and so forth, it's not good for the environment. If you have those valid reasons, go for it. If you don't, it's okay. Don't worry. Again, remember, in order for you to cultivate, we have to help you overcome your karmic obstructions. And eating is not a big deal, okay? There'll be more karmic obstruction you learn to overcome. I wouldn't worry, okay? It's okay. Yeah. Okay? And to me, it's very important in my heart that the meal is a very important time of sharing, of connecting. So you meet with your, you go to work and at home, you go home and see your wife. It's perfectly okay to connect over a good meal and enjoy yourself, and appreciate the food she cooked for you. That hamburger, Beyond Burger hamburger she cooked for you, and you show your appreciation. It's so beautiful. You know what I mean? So it's okay. Don't be extremes, okay? To me, if you're a lay person, I advocate half and half, sort of, Sometimes vegetarian, sometimes meat and so forth, depending on circumstances, okay? Because that's the most natural, most balanced, okay? But for us, the truth be told, for us who stop eating meat for a while, I personally don't like meat anymore because it doesn't taste as good as before. That's all. So it's a personal choice as well. Okay? Before I even left the home life, meat tasted bitter to me. Whether it's Burger King or bacon bits, they all taste so bitter to me. So I said, this is it. Time for me to switch and stop eating meat. That's it. Okay? So each person is different. Don't worry about it, Don't be so extremes. And it's perfectly okay to enjoy your meal, enjoy yourself. But if you wish to treat me to a 5-star restaurant, I can think of some restaurants who do have to serve vegetarian stuff. Okay, so yes, question. Green.
I would like to ask a question about food. Actually, before I took the precepts, I cook with using alcohol. As a material scientist, I can assure you the alcohol totally evaporates out of the food. And if the temperature is higher than 160 Fahrenheit or 78 degrees Celsius. So the precept in my stupid, false thinking is the reason you don't want to take it is may confuse your mind. But if it completely goes out of the food, do I still break the precepts, or I think too much?
The alcohol precept, you should not eat any, consume intoxicants, alcohol, whether it's 1% or 99%, it doesn't matter. It does not completely evaporate. So there's still some residual alcohol there, okay? So when you take it, then you are violating precepts, okay? But it's a minor precept. I'm not making excuses for you, but I'm saying that strictly speaking, it's a violation, okay? Albeit it's not a big deal, okay? The meaning of the precept is to point out the fact that when you take intoxicants, it clouds your judgment. Be aware of the fact that when you take intoxicants, your judgment will be impaired. That's, to me, the real purpose of this precept is to help you become aware of it. That's all. But personally, I don't have a problem if you feel compelled, you have reasonable reasons to take intoxicants, whether it's at work, whether it's for on a date, affairs of the heart, if you will, and so forth. You have reasons, okay? Then be aware of the fact that you're paying the price, and you have to do repentance later, okay? Because because I recently went to Korea and tried some special tea. I liked it a lot. And after I finished my share of the tea, suddenly I realized it has alcohol in it. Lucky I finished it. You know what I mean? It's okay. I mean, geez, Mahayana is not that rigid. It's not like if you make a mistake, we cut your hands or something, you know? Yes, sir. Thank you for waiting. Yes, Orange.
Yeah, well, it was long time ago, but yeah, I think like the question was like that's Hinayana, not Mahayana, you know, because kind of you worry about a lot of those things, so you kind of become an slave of those things.
Yeah. You see, I don't care whatever you do, just become enlightened and then go to the Pure Land. That's all I care about. Whether you break precepts left and right, as long as you become enlightened and go to the Pure Land, I would not object to it. You understand? You have to look at the big picture. The reason that people are so scared because they don't know how to become enlightened. Because they say, if I do this is how I was taught, by the way. You know, when I first started, you know, I was excited to be able to learn about becoming a vegetarian, and then that famous 3 steps 1 bar monk says, you know, I discovered corn has genetic engineering, so corn is no longer purely vegetarian. I was so afflicted. Seriously, I was so afflicted. I said, what am I going to do with the rest of my life now? How do I know? I walk out, you know, I go to the temple and the cafeteria, and they serve me corn. Do I eat it or not? I don't know whether it's going to be, you know, have animal cells in there or not. How the heck do I make sure that I don't eat the thing because I'm vegetarian? I was so afflicted. And then it turns out that most everything now has biotech engineering, whether it's potato chips or broccoli, you name it. It's like, even like mushrooms, you know? And you cannot be so, I used to be so paranoid. I said, how can I possibly become enlightened? Because I'm doing this in order to become enlightened, okay? And I made so many sacrifices and let this you know, this bit of corn and a bit of broccoli and so forth stop me from my big goal. I would be so stupid. I used to be so paranoid. Well, after a while, there's nothing you can do. You see? So it's a big picture. My attitude is that would that prohibit you, stop you from getting enlightened? And my point is that people are enlightened when they eat meat like crazy their entire lives. So that should not stop you. That won't stop you at all. Okay? Anyone else? GMT, thank you for waiting.
Hello, Master. I have a question about reciting Amitabha Buddha's name. Usually, a person.
Finally, someone is cultivating. Go ahead.
I use Amitabha Buddha name recitation for lower my depression or bad mood. So, in general, can anybody else to do that too?
What is the question again? I didn't get it.
The question is, beside the purpose of to be rebirthed in the Pure Land, can people recite the Amitabha Buddha name to lower their depression or bad mood?
Absolutely. It will work up to a certain level. Okay? Absolutely. You can recite the Buddha's name. It would help lower your afflictions, especially lower your depression and so forth. But again, it's a matter of adjustments. If it works, then continue. It doesn't work after a long time. You continue for a while. And then when you find out it no longer works, that's when you adjust. So for example, I've been, since January, I've been reciting in order to help the COVID-19. The rationale is that now that we have the green light to help, help the country, it's okay with the president, then we need to give you some relief before you get vaccination, before you get some help, before you figure out what to do. Otherwise, the economy will get worse and people would die, more people would die, and it would be disastrous for the entire country. So we helped out. And I helped out initially with simply by reciting the Buddha's name for the entire country. Okay? And then after a while, it stopped working because the new variants came in. They became immune to the Buddha's name. So I had to adjust. So see, that's what cultivation is about. You try this, you do it, and if it works, you continue to do it until it stops working, then you adjust. This is why we have so many Dharma doors for you to learn so that you can make adjustments. Okay? Yeah. All right, anyone else? Yes, sir. Green.
I actually have a question. So let's say that you're Buddhist and you start eating meat. You eat meat even if you're a lay person. Don't you have to pay that to your creditors later?
Yeah, we create offenses, we have to pay. Okay? So what? Just life. Again, the trick is to learn how to escape. And you create offenses, but the objective is to get out, find a way to get out, okay? Because part of living is to create offenses. You minimize the serious offenses that will make it impossible for you to get out. But there's some offenses you need to create. For example, in my house, I have a lot of ants. When it gets real hot, the ants come in. They're everywhere. And I can't help but kill quite a few of them. So then you say, oh. I can't guarantee I was so afflicted. There's no guarantee. They go to the Pure Land, I was never afflicted. But you say, oh my God, I killed ants. I can't sit there and mope. I'm too busy reciting the Buddha's name to kill the COVID-19 viruses. I can't help the ants. I don't have time for that. You see? So that's the way it goes. So the answer to the question from Korea is, yes, of course. Initially, I used the Buddha's name to stop the COVID-19 virus. And eventually, within months, the variants came, so we need to use something stronger, more powerful. Yes, thank you. YouTube question. Good Lord. It's 2 hours and you guys still want to gossip.
Christopher asks, Master, understandably, there are things we need to give up in our pursuit for enlightenment. But if we are allowed to break precepts, as long as we don't hurt anyone, can we still become enlightened?
Yes. Absolutely. We break precepts left and right every day. We're not supposed to tell you that, but it's the truth. Yes, Black.
Master, I have another question. So, one of my teacher is an herbalist, and he passed 10 years ago.
Yeah.
He came and asked if we can ask him to become Medicine Master Buddha's disciple.
He wants to become Medicine Master Buddha's disciple?
Yes.
I can't speak for the Medicine Master Buddha. He can ask, but I can't intervene in that. Okay. I don't have a particular Dharma that enables you to become Medicine Master Buddha's disciple. Okay, I cannot decide that. Okay, the Dharma we have here in the Sao world is that when you take refuge, you become a disciple of Shakyamuni Buddha. I'm only a certifier, so that's a Dharma we're offering. Whereas for Medicine Master Buddha, I'm not sure that I can guarantee it. Okay, but it's not. He shouldn't be so attached in that the bigger picture is to become enlightened. It doesn't matter who you are a disciple of. Okay? All the Buddha Dharma throughout the universe is designed to help you become enlightened yourself. Whether it's Medicine Master Buddha or Shakyamuni Buddha or Amitabha Buddha, it's all designed to help you become enlightened. Okay? So don't be so attached. That's an attachment that's not necessary. That's my advice. All right?
Thank you, Master.
Even if I knew, I wouldn't even advise that. I wouldn't even tell you because it's not helping. It creates an attachment that's not necessary. Q&A.
In the Asian culture, when we have our parent or family member who's sick or who go through hardship, and then for the children, they tend to say, okay, I'm going to give up a month of meat, or I will be a vegetarian for a year. Does that really help, or is that just helping the child to feel like, oh my God, at least I try to do something so that they feel better?
I didn't quite hear the entire question. Please repeat.
My question is, in the Asian culture, when we have our family member who's sick or suffer of some kind, and then the family members, as usually the children would say, you know, for my mom or dad to suffer like this, I would like to be give up meat for 3 months or a year. Did that really help, or is just for the child to do it so that they feel like?
Yes, it's possible to create blessings, and that's what in Buddhism we do. In Buddhism, our practice, all forms of practices, whether it's you abstain from eating meat or reciting the Buddha's name to meditation and so forth, all those generate a lot of blessings. At the end of the practice, we transfer the merit and virtue of those practices for living beings or particular people, and that's how we help. For example, it was said earlier that someone requested a pre-arranged 49 day for someone, and then that person gradually became receptive to Buddhism and not and more open-minded. It's not necessarily a pre-arranged 49 day. What happens there is that the requester wanted, it is from the heart, from the requester who wanted to help the person learn about Buddhism and benefit from Mahayana. And that's how, in that desire to help right there, okay, the blessings are transferred to the other party. And that's why the other party have the blessings to be able to benefit from the Dharma itself. It takes blessings to be able to benefit from this Dharma. A lot of blessings. Okay? So when you do something good, you're creating blessings, and you can give away those blessings to others to help them. This is what we do. Okay? We're going to stand up and do the great transcendence right now, and that's at the end of the day. We created a lot of merit and virtue, and then the great transference itself will generate even more merit and virtue. We'll give it away for everyone's mother and father, hoping that they will make it to the Pure Land. That's what we do. All right? Okay, we stop here tonight. Okay, thank you everyone.